All right.
All
So
right. So here's a couple ways
we
you
can
can.
talk for days on this stuff, Murray.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
it's really juicy good things to utilize the tools
Mm,
that are available to business owners. That's the advantage of being a business owner. You get tax breaks, you get
mm,
credit opportunities because you're building an entity that services the community, hires people, pays vendors, and does stuff and produces a product, right?
yep.
So
Yep.
why not do it?
Yeah. It's awesome. Small businesses are the backbone of the country. So
Yeah,
um,
agreed.
I,
All right.
there's we can go over how to build credit, but I think we might be out of time. But what we can do.
Well, I think we
You
can
want to talk
talk
a little bit
about why
about it?
don't I mean, there's lots of little things that you can
All
do
right.
to build credit. We got time. We got
All right.
about 8 or 10 minutes left.
All
We
right.
can we can milk this one a little bit longer. But in thinking about it, when you're building credit, right?
Mm,
There are equity lines and there's credit cards and there's
mm,
loans to buy stuff.
mm-hmm,
What are some of the best mixtures? Because back in the personal side, we know you should have a gas card, a credit card, a mortgage, a
mm,
loan, you should have some balancing of things. How is
mm-hmm.
that in the business credit space? What kind of
So
credit do we need?
I'm going to not give you the answer you want. I'm going to say that once you get good credit, you get access to all these things.
Mm.
Okay,
Okay.
and you can tailor the opportunity to what you need it for. Because
Got it.
line of credit is a good all-purpose thing to have, but there's different kinds of lines of credit as you build credit. And there might be something that's more specific to the thing you have that's actually going to be a better deal. But there's a million different scenarios. The bottom line
Good to
is
know.
you get so much more flexibility to manage cash flow, and whatever the purpose is, there might be something beyond what you thought about because you've been conditioned by banks to only think in this little tiny box, right? And when you work with somebody who works with businesses, then it just opens the door to so many opportunities, which is very cool.
Right.
Very
What
cool.
you don't know. And now you're learning that there's a whole nother world out there that you
Mm,
should know about to be
yes.
able to, get the best for your company. I love
I got
these ideas though.
a few quick
Yeah,
tips that you can do
please.
on your own, right?
Oh yeah.
There's a foundation before we even talk about the kind of loans. You got to get the foundation in place. That means the data on your company as wherever you have a presence, meaning your website, where you register with the Secretary of State, your invoices, your bank account, all this stuff has to be consistent. Okay, so this is the foundation. All right, you've got to
Yeah.
look, smell, and feel like Walmart when it comes to the credit bureaus. If there's anything that looks out of place, you lose credibility. You're going to get rejected right away, even if it's a typo. Right?
Like in your
And
address and stuff like that.
yes, and let's talk about addresses. Is the most common one. There's like 120 variables, but address is one thing is the main thing. And by the way, every client we've had has had something screwed up. So first of all, it can't be a PO box and it can't be your home address. Those are two things that are red flags that the underwriter is going to think, oh, this could be fraud. That they're looking for
Mm.
fraud. They're looking for,
Mm.
something that doesn't. It has no bearing on whether you can pay off loans or not. It's like fraud. If you have a PO box, is that a real business? You know what I mean? So you got to look credible. You got to be like a runway model. I don't like to use that. I like the Walmart scenario. Anyway, um, so you got to use a concrete address or a virtual address will work, and that address has to be consistent everywhere you exist. When somebody's underwriting you and they find you have multiple addresses. We had a plumber who'd been in business for 18 years. He was making 15 million in revenue. So this guy's a pretty good plumber, but he couldn't get business credit. So he's like, well, how the hell do I get business credit? So we pulled his credit report. He had 9 addresses.
What?
And he goes, oh yeah, that was the old warehouse we had. Oh yeah, that's my brother-in-law's company. We bought them out. Oh yeah, that's the guy, blah blah blah. So he had all these stories, but no one told him, and it's not his fault. No one told him he had to clean all that up and consolidate it. And so consequently, people were doing a credit look on, and they had like 9 addresses. Like this guy's not credible. It could be fraud. So he was getting rejected. You get where I'm going. So you
Absolutely.
got to have it all consolidated into one consistent address wherever you have a